Welcome to this session. This session will be handling functional literature for language development. During 1980s, there was a shift from instrumental use of literature to development of direct communication or spoken ability among the learners. The grammar translation method of 19th century was based on the use of literature as instrumental or functional for developing communication in the target language. In this method, the teacher was central with his or her oracy and the learners remained passive. And translation was a means to make the learner enter into the theme. Literature is the feelings and thoughts in black and white. Literature is to be experienced, to be enjoyed, to be appreciated, to be loved. This is according to Van der Griff, 1995. Literature in a particular language is a storehouse of its rich genres and linguistic elements. The process of acquisition of one's mother tongue and a foreign language differs in many ways in Indian context. The geographical, cultural, psychological and philosophical distancing between language and its non-native speaker has been recognized as the greatest and difficult to overcome barrier in acquiring or learning the language. We learned this under the theory of connectivism proposed by Siemens in 2005. You're listening to my presentation, and because of the speciality of the medium for our interaction, we feel a sort of detachment between us. In this sense, we are disconnected. In the process of foreign language acquisition, this feel develops fear, anxiety, alienation, and promotes the affective filters as proposed by Stephen Krashen. Latest approaches to learning a foreign language have been formulated to reduce the degree of such disconnectedness, especially in a humanistic language, rich environment, and to reduce the gap between the unsuccessful theoretical postulates and real-time teaching. In Indian context, at all levels of education, with respect to all subjects of study, majority of learners struggle hard with English language in listening, speaking, reading and writing. In the curricular framework for teacher education in 2015, National Council for Teacher Education has vehemently stated, I quote, "There have been studies to show that undergraduate students in our universities are reluctant readers and they struggle to write for different purposes," unquote. Therefore, NCTE has incorporated theory and practice, reading and reflecting session as a foundation to enable B.Ed students to read and respond to a variety of texts in different ways. Whatever be the subject of specialization, a graduate is expected to express and comprehend the language of respective curriculum also. This means that there is a specific language across each curricular subject. In a similar manner, there are literatures of different subjects of study. Literature of science, literature of English. When meaning intervenes, there is an indication of language as such. Both language and literature go together. In that, the former is a tool for thinking and the latter for critical thinking. When language is considered a center for communication of thoughts, the language elements of words and structure are in use by the speaker or the writer. Thus, it is a tool for thinking and conveying or expressing the thoughts to others. Through language development, the capacity for thinking process in general gets improved. When the medium of literature also is employed, the literary text will make the learner or the writer think critically. This is true when the reader or learner is asked to read the text and respond to the theme and the language used in the text. The levels of reading will be differing in individual case. Thus, English language and literature teaching help develop interest in the language and motivate the learner reach the objective of problem solving and critical thinking. When the learner makes responses orally or in writing, his or her linguistic repertoire gets developed. Literary discourse. Widdowson, the proponent of communicative approach to language teaching and learning, has explained two types of discourses: functional discourse and literary discourse. Functional discourse is a conventional type of discourse that is meant for exchange of information. In a classroom context, this type of discourse involves linguistic elements of grammar or vocabulary items. On the other hand, literary discourse is focused on literariness, interpretation, deciphering, and imagination. There is no focus on language tasks. The reader gets involved in the discourse at different levels. This could be better understood from Alderson's explanation on the process of reading. I quote, "A text does not contain a meaning waiting to be discovered by an able reader. Rather, meaning is created in the interaction between a reader and the text," unquote. To say it in other words, the meaning and potential of the written piece are realized only when the readers read it at different levels and interpret it in a subjective way. In the classroom context, when a piece of literary discourse is introduced, there are three elements involved in the process: the language of the text, the student, and the teacher. The same is true in the case when a functional discourse is presented, as in Figure 1. But as a second phase of the process, in the case of literary discourse, the student takes up the role of a reader and literature is introduced instead of mere language. In the third phase, one more element intervenes, that is, the author. In phase 4, multiple interactions among the reader, the culture of the reader, the text and the culture of the text lead to the development of both the language and literature of the reader, bringing out modifications in both the cognitive and affective domains of development. Such interactions in the classroom will help develop the language skills of listening, speaking, reading, and writing. New meanings may be added to the text. The places of silence and gaps may be filled up through such tactical interventions from the part of the students. English language and literature teaching. The application of literary discourse strategies suggests a new approach to integration of different language skills through the integration of language and literature. The principles of the approach are: 1. Focus on what language can do. The communicative functions of comprehension and expression are given due focus when the discourse is being read, interpreted, and critically discussed in a cultural context. The power of language to express ideas, emotions, and feelings gets reflected in literary discourses. Number 2, development of linguistic and cultural awareness. The discourses are being presented in certain cultural contexts of the language, and thus the connection between the language and the culture of its native speakers are made explicit to the readers. Number 3, maintains interest in language. Since the reader is directly interacting with the text, he will try to comprehend it at his maximum level. At the time of interpretation of the content of the text, he uses language. Naturally, he will be interested to use the language of the text. It indirectly helps in acquisition of language in an interesting way. Number 4, individualized participation in the process. As reading occurs by each individual student reader, interpretations of the text occur at individual level. That also occurs at different levels of reading, such as reading lines, reading between lines, and reading beyond lines. In reading the lines, the clear, directly stated meanings of the text are comprehended. This is the lowest level of reading. The reader can interpret what the text says when he could read between lines. At the highest level of reading, the reader critically interprets and synthesizes the language and literature, and then he goes beyond the text. The reader makes use of the text to improve his own world of knowledge and experiences. Number 5, contextualization of the text. The reader comprehends, interprets, and critically analyzes the text in the background of his own social, cultural, and educational setup. Thus, 3 learner aspects will influence the entire process, and the reader is free to add his own natural flavor to the text. Thus, the text makes reading process relevant and meaningful. 6, development of cognitive skills and social skills. The process objectives of discourse-based tasks include imagining, predicting, analyzing, creating, solving problems, and the social skills of establishing human relations, and gives access to new socio-cultural meaning. Models of ELLT. A project on BritLit model was undertaken by British Council in 2009 and was successfully experimented. It considered language as the springboard of learning, development of the 4 language skills, and the highest objective of creating were the set objectives of the model. The programs in the model include: number 1, whole school reading sessions or reading. Number 2, online interaction with author, that is listening and speaking. Number 3, author's visit or writing. Number 4, prepare illustrations or dust cover, or in other words, creating. The phases of BritLit model are: 1, pre-reading. As a first step, the teacher will elicit preliminary knowledge about the text to be introduced. There can be an interaction with teacher given clues. The text is thus made just familiar to the readers. 2, reading. The whole text is read by the students. The broad brush approach is followed, where the reading is to explore the general content and the theme. If linguistic aspects are also to be focused, exploration of grammar is allowed. Vocabulary could be comprehended by the use of dictionary through the technique of tricky troll. 3, after reading. Interaction between the reader, the text, and the culture occur once reading is complete. This phase focuses on the real-time use of language and also on critical thinking and problem-solving skills. The techniques like graffiti, vlog, computer game, etc. are proved as effective in this. Other models. Long and Carter, 1992. They proposed 3 models to language and literature teaching: the language model, personal growth model, and cultural model. As the name suggests, in language model, the objectives are framed around the lexemes and a structure of language. That means the reader's responses to the text of the discourse are ignored. Thus, the model focuses on the development of language as a means of communication. In the cultural model, the text is considered as an expression of cultural and artistic heritage. Different texts from different genres of literature are introduced based on the linguistic abilities of learners. Thus, it is different from the language model as focus is on the literariness and the culture. In the third model, personal growth model, the reader is sent to the level of critical thinking as suggested by Widdowson. The readers get engaged in the text, appreciate, evaluate, and reflect on experiences and expresses personal opinions. Since the reader's processes involve language comprehension, appreciation and expression, growth of language level and general thinking processes involving critical thinking and problem solving, they become creative users of language. Evaluation. Linguistic accuracy, automaticity and prosody are evaluated. Accuracy can be assessed while decoding the text after reading. The correctness of the language use is emphasized here. Automaticity means the ability for quick automatic recognition of words in connected text. Prosody evaluates the expressive ability and the ability for meaningful interpretation of text. Feasibility of the approach. The approach being one of the recent origin pedagogically designed text materials appropriate for different levels of students are not easily available. Individual readers will come across syntactic and lexical difficulties, and the practicality of differentiated learning in crowded classroom contexts is yet to be experimentally proved. The genre of the text, vocabulary, the contextual background, etc. may create difficulties in the comprehension of the text. Language development will be a gradual, slow process, and it will be individual paced and thus generally a time-consuming process. Now, let us summarize the session. The theory of connectivism explains the need for reducing the barriers in the process of foreign language learning. The unsuccessful theoretical postulates are to be substituted by promising feasible strategies. The strategies of English language and literature teaching focus on the application of functional and literary discourses. A language-rich environment with the scope for both literature and language could be developed in English as second language classrooms. The advantages and the feasibility of such models of teaching are discussed. BritLit model is discussed with its different phases. Before we attend the next session, please try to answer the following questions. Number 1. Literary discourse is subjective in nature while functional discourse is not. Why? 2. Which are the phases in BritLit model to ELLT? The books for your reference are BritLit Using Literature in EFL Classrooms, published by British Council in 2009. Literature and Language Teaching by Oxford University Press and edited by C.J. Bromfitt and R.A. Carter and published in 1986. Scheme Theory and ESL Reading, Classroom Implications and Placation, brought out in 1984 by P.L. Carroll. Teaching Literature by Longman and written by Longcart in 1991. With that, we come to the end of the session. Hope this was useful. Until we meet again, it's a goodbye from all of us here.